And I know Hannah, I know her opinion about this, but I'm sorry. Number 4, Ghost prequel.
Screw you! Screw you! Die! Die! Okay.
Get out of here!
No, I cannot continue.
Now she's
Okay.
gone.
Hannah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna probably. That's my number 3 request.
You have no idea about music.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 30 of the Horsemen podcast. 31? Yeah, 31.
Yep.
31, the USA Ice Cream Baskin Robbins. Quote from the song Junk Food by German thrash band Assassin. I'm trying to remember how the lyric actually went, just for reference. Junk food, that is what we want! Kit Kat, the British waffle snack! Hubba Bubba, the best chewing gum! 31, the USA Ice Cream! One of the funniest thrash songs of all time, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about a quite sensitive subject for a certain German woman. Top 10 ghost songs! Yay!
Yay!
Forcing a smile because we know how she feels about ghosts nowadays.
Very conflicted.
But, of course, joining me, right up above me, the man who constantly wants to hurt me, Artur Castana.
That's not true.
I just like saying random shit because it's just fun. And speaking of Miss Hannah Klein, there she is to the left, looking lovely as always.
To the back. You've got it.
She just wants to lose her shit right now. And then right underneath is, of course, Ricky.
Yellow.
Alright, so yes, top 10 ghost songs. So, little lesson for those who may have been under a rock for the past 10 years. Ghost, Swedish hard rock, traditional heavy metal band that provide quite an interesting stage show with the instrumentalists wearing Reaper hoods with masks to cover their face, or devil masks, depending on which era you think of. And the classic singer of Tobias 4 is going through stage names. Papa Emeritus, the first, second, third, Cardinal Copa, now Papa the Fourth. Wearing a Pope outfit with a Misfit skeleton face paint on with a mask to cover his real face. And it's fucking cool, and it's been ages since we've had a band that pulls off an image like that. Even though some people like to criticize them for being like Kiss, well, step aside, Kiss. Ghost blows you out of the water. I said it. So,
This currently sucks.
depends. But, so, yeah, we're here to talk about ghost songs. Of course, they have had 4 albums out in 10 years. We have Opus Eponymous, Infestissimum, Meliora, and Prequel, with a new album set to come out either later this year or next year.
With 3... I was gonna say 3 EPs, too?
What? Oh yeah, EPs, yeah.
And a shitty live album.
So
Anyway.
So I figured a good place to start would be how we each got into the band or heard about the band. For me, oddly enough, first time I ever heard the name Ghost was from the old VH1 classic, That Metal Show, because a couple of the guys, the hosts, were fans of them when they first heard them. And the way that they describe them was like as if you were to combine Black Sabbath and Blue Oyster Cult. And you know what? Early on, that's a good descriptor because vocally reminds me so much of Blue Oyster Cult, and that's why I think I like Ghost a little bit, because of the fact that they have that kind of vocal approach, which is really cool. And then over time, the first song I ever heard was Secular Haze from Investissimum, and I thought, this is such a damn good track. And then, of course, I'm probably the least familiar with Ghost out of the four of us, because I got into them quite late, and just to show how late I got into them, first album, full album I heard of theirs was Prequel. Goes to show you how late I was. Then I went back and discovered Meliora and Opus Eponymous, and I still like Prequel, but even I'll admit, their previous catalog is so much better. So much better. But that's how I heard or got into the band, and that's my story. Ricky, considering you have the pop vinyl of Papa the Second.
Yeah, boy. Papa the Second. Well, for
My favorite
me,
Papa.
well, for me, my favorite Papa is Papa 3. How I got into Ghost is kind of weird, because I always hear my friends talking about Ghost, 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 and I'm like, who is this Ghost band? So I did some research on them, and it was in 2015, right after they released Meliora. That was my introduction to Ghost. I listened to Meliora one time, and then again, and then again, and then again, and then again. I love the living hell out of Meliora. Then actually I went back and listened to Opus Eponymous. I listened to Insiferium and then the EPs. That they kind of made me one of their fans, which was kind of shocking that a band that has, like you said, Blue Oyster Cult, Black Sabbath vibe, 70s vibes can still do it on today, like in today's
Yeah, I forgot to mention
societies.
that. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. The other cool thing I like about Ghost is that they're bringing an old school sound back to relevance in today, and I have massive respect for them for doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then, well, as time goes by, Ghost still one of my favorite bands, even after Prequel was released, which I actually put it on my top 10 list back in 2018.
Number 3.
Yep.
It was your number
I
3,
put
my
it-
number 4, and Hannah still hates us to this day for it.
Yeah, it was my number 3. Not the best Prequel, not the best Ghost album. I'd
No.
probably put that like at the very bottom.
Very bottom, yeah.
But my personal favorite, Meliora, the album that introduced me to the band. And let's not get into the whole lawsuit and all that. That's
Yeah, we're
probably-
not talking about that
That's
crap.
that's around Hannah's territory.
Yeah. But we'll save her for last, because I know she'll have a lot to say. So, Artur, you're up.
Mine was a bit different because I got to listen to some bands in metal, mostly because of some of my friends here in the country. And there was one who kept playing this eerie song called Year Zero. And I was thinking, what the hell is this? This is gorgeous. And after all, he was explaining that it was from Ghost. I kind of became hooked to it. I mean, mostly thanks to that song Year Zero. But it was a bit up and down relationship with Ghost. Year Zero was great. Secular Haze, it took me a while to get into it. But then I got to listen to the first song, the If You Want Ghosts, we got 'em. If You Want Ghosts.
You have everything.
Yeah. But yeah, I got hooked, and it's because of that. I mean, I've always been in love with some of the more fantasy or more fantastic presentation elements of metal. That's why I love King Diamond so much, in a way. But having someone who can create a whole theater on stage, second only to King Diamond, of course, and no, third only, behind, in front of him, King Diamond and Alice Cooper, of course. But to create that whole entity on stage and all the names that have come out that were the ghouls. I mean, I've heard names such as Dave Grohl. I've such as Dave Grohl, James Hetfield, Rob Trujillo. I've heard so many names who were the nameless ghouls, so to say, and they kept on that identity for a very long time, which is great. But yeah, Infestacion is great. Meliora as well, one of my favorite albums of the band. Prequel, ugh, don't get me started on that hunk of shit. But as well as the imagery, I mean, I've loved Pop. That old cardinal, that old Pope vestments, and that skull. I mean, Misfit skull, yeah, but you could say that Misfits they were influential in so many different ways. And their reputation, I can understand that. I mean, it's not the band that I consider one of the best of all time, but is it that bad as many people say? Listen to Prequel and then you tell me later. But is it that bad as many people say? No, because most of the times they have that theatrical element, which is very much forgotten in certain aspects of metal. But yeah, that's how I got into Ghost.
And just one quick little thing. Ghost, I would consider them one of the best modern bands, not the best of all time. Talking about modern bands, they're the most popular modern band in recent, like right now.
And I would not, but definitely I would not put, just like Loudwire did, or I don't remember who did that, albums of the decade. I would not put Melior in that album. I could still think about several other albums. Not top 5, but at bottom 5. But Ghost being that whole band whose album is almost as an equivalent to The Satanist, yeah.
All right, now the floor is yours, Hannah.
Well, I was at Wacken in the summer of 2014, and we were camping with a large group of Italians. And one of them, my friend Alessandro, he was ecstatic about this new band from Sweden, singing about Satan and Lucifer and Elizabeth Bathory and so on. And he, I had this little sound system with me, and he kept playing ghost songs on it. And I was like, what's that? And then he kept talking about this whole Papa stick, walking, and even showed me his Papa costume he used to wear everywhere. He even had it with him at Wacken. And he was just so ecstatic about it. And when I came home from Wacken, I checked them out. I think the first song I listened to was Monstrance Clock, and I wasn't really sure about it, but I kept coming back somehow. It kept getting stuck in my ear. Listened to Year Zero, was blown away by that song, and then discovered Opus Eponymous. It almost took me a year to really get into them. And then Meliora came out, and I was like, woo. And then they even came to Cologne. I immediately bought tickets, went there with a friend of mine, and the guys from Motorhead were there. I was in the, I think, third row or something like that. But seeing them live, I think that was one of the most important steps for me, because live, they're so theatrical and energetic, at least with the members of the Meliora era. And I got hooked immediately, at least more than before. And I followed them through Europe the next couple of years. Not as much as some other Ghost fans did, but I was on 5 concerts, and it was amazing. Saw them from the front row in Dortmund on a festival. Stood directly in front of Omega, the guitarist. That was amazing. Well, and then the lawsuit surfaced, and that changed everything for me. Well, and my favorite members or the instrumentalists weren't there anymore, and I still feel sad about that, but I won't say anything more about that. But that was how I got into Ghost, and I mean, ever since the lawsuit surfaced, and then Prequel was released, but also when Square Hammer, the EP, was released, my feelings towards Ghost changed a bit, to say the least.
I would tell you one good thing about the whole lawsuit thing. Martin was not involved in the lawsuit. That's the only thing.
I mean, what I think the good that came out of the lawsuit is MCC is back. I mean, hail MCC, and a lot of other Ghost-related projects surfaced or resurfaced.
Check them out.
Like Teeth Priest, The Great Discord, Henke Palm as a solo artist, and so on. I mean, there are so many nice little projects. The former Ghouls are involved with PG Lost, to name a few. All very creative, and I'm glad that none of the Ghouls have stopped making music.
And a little metal history note: Tobias Forge, prior to Ghost, was in a Swedish death metal revival band called Repugnant, which is quite underrated if you ask me. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about Ghost.
With a badass cover of Celtic Frost's Usurper.
All right, so now.
A few songs that I remember.
Yeah, so now on to our list.
But he also wasn't in another band.
Crash Diet, which was like a glam band.
No, not just Crash Diet. Subvision. I mean, some songs are good, but not all of them.
Alright, so now on to our actual list, starting with honorable mentions. I shall begin. First two, oh god, I could already foresee the look on Hannah's face. First, Rats. I can't ignore that song, it's so fun and catchy. But, spoiler alert, no Dance Macabre on my list or in honorable mentions, so you can relieve yourselves. The only other song, there are two other songs from Prequel that are either honorable mention or on the list. None of them is Dance Macabre. The other one in honorable mentions, the instrumental Helvetis Fonster. I really like that instrumental, plus featuring Michael from Opeth on guitar. I thought added a nice little touch to it. Majesty, Mummy Dust, and From the Pinnacle to the Pit. So those are my 5 honorable mentions. Ricky.
I have 8 honorable mentions. First of all, Gigolo Armeggio, one of my favorites from Inseferium. Dance Macabre. I like my Poppy Stove sometimes.
I do too.
Kill me
when I'm in that mood.
I mean, it's a great song. The only song I have from an EP, Square Hammer. I stayed away from the covers because the covers are some good covers, but I didn't want to put them on the list.
Didn't want to throw covers into the originals.
So that's why Square Hammer being the only original song from the Popstar EP. So that's why I had to put it here on the list. Another one from the prequel era, Faith. Like Artur mentioned a lot of times, the closest to old Ghost you ever get. Next up, Monstrance Clock, the song that they basically end every show on, which is kind of cool. Next up, Body and Blood, probably one of my favorite songs as well. I got two more.
Just to point out, the last time I saw Ghost was 2 years ago here in Portugal. They did not end with monstrous clock. They ended with square head.
Yeah,
Oh.
they stopped ending with Monsters Clock, I think 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I got two more left. Spirit, the opening song that opens up Meliora, and the last one. Oh my god. Oh my god, I know I'm gonna get a German army after me after we say this. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But the last honorable mention is Zenith.
I'm sending the army over to you right now.
Can I add some people to that army as well?
Yes, you can. Yes, you may. Yes, you have to.
I'm sorry. I mean, as much as I love Meliora, that song being a bonus track about Rosemary's Baby. I mean, that alone made me want to listen to it, and it's such a beautiful song that I don't understand why it wasn't in the actual album.
Because
But-
it doesn't fit.
I'm sorry, Hannah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know you were gonna get pissed off at me.
When you come over here to Germany, you won't get any beer.
I don't drink beer.
She'll bitch slap you. There you go.
No meat
Oh.
then. No meat then.
Oh, come on!
You're getting cucked. Alright, Hannah.
Well, I've got 5. The first one is He Is. I mean, I like that song, but I simply ran out of space. It would have been somewhere on the number 10 or 9 if there hadn't been other songs. I mean, I really, really like this little ballad. Some say it's about the Devil's Blood singer. I forgot his name. Who cares? Then Elizabeth is on here. A nice little song about Elizabeth Bathory. One of many songs about this lovely lady. And I really like this song out of Opus Eponymous, but I ran out of space. Same goes for Stand By Him, the first Ghost song, at least according to Tobias Forge. Again, a catchy little retro heavy metal song. Then I've got... I mean, I cannot deny that it isn't catchy. That's why it's here. I think it's the second strongest song out of Prequel, Dance Macabre. Although the lyrics are very cheesy,
Corny.
bad, and yeah.
But there's a hierarchy of cheesy lyrics. There's, in my opinion, good cheesy and bad cheesy. And, well, we talked about earlier with Massacre's Promise, that's bad cheesy. This, in my opinion, is
but-
good cheesy because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't like a good, catchy tune every once in a while?
I do.
Well, and then lastly, I've got a cover on here. Here Comes the Sun.
I thought about putting that on the list too, but I didn't want to put covers.
I think they have done quite a few very good covers, like the Crucified cover of Army of Lovers,
Mhm.
or the If You Have Ghost song, If You Have Ghost, originally by Rocky Erickson. But in my opinion, the best one is Here Comes the Sun, originally by the Beatles. And I mean, if you take into consideration what an uplifting song the original actually is, and Ghost kind of managed to make a rather melancholic song out of this one by changing the chords and so on from major to minor. I think they've done a great job with this song, and well, I like it.
If I had to choose a cover song from Ghost, I would go with "Waiting for the Night," the Dispassion Mode cover. Oh god, it's so good.
I would have had "Here Comes the Sun" if I had a cover. Real quick, I gotta take care of something really quick, but I'll let you guys continue. Artur, I'll let you do your list, and then I'll come back.
I think Archer forgot his honorable mentions. I think. Oh yeah, honorable mentions, Archer.
I only have 3 honorable mentions. I have Secular Haze, because as I said previously, it was a song that after listening Year Zero, it became very difficult for me to go from Year Zero to Secular Haze in an instant. I have Rats as well, possibly one of 2 of my favorite songs of that god-awful album called Prequel. The other one will be higher on my list, and I also have Monstrous Clock as well. I mean, especially that ends with the choir when you hear stuff come together. I mean, even live.
The last one.
I saw it live in Hellfest back in 2016, and this was Ghost before I went to see Black Sabbath. There were a choir of children there. I thought, damn. I thought, they did it. They did it that shit live. But I only have those 3. Secular Haze, Rats, and Monstrous Clock.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, this one, live at
Oh.
Hellfest.
oh,
Yeah, I was there. Front row, I was there.
Well, I wasn't there. I was in Dortmund during that tour, but I've got the vinyl from Hellfest.
what don't you have from Ghost? You have almost every other vinyl except for Prequel.
I have Prequel on vinyl, sadly.
That's all I gotta say. Damn. No, how did Rod Simmons say? Damn.
But
Well,
I mean, I've got limited editions for all the vinyls except for Prequel. I didn't want to spend too much money on that one.
I'm surprised you have it on vinyl. After all this shit you talk about it.
I mean, I wanted to listen to it, and I like listening to vinyls, and I had it pre-ordered.
So, what did I miss?
Mostly because of the covers on there.
Not much.
Not as much.
So, what all did Artur have on honorable mentions?
Secular Haze, Rats, and Monstrous Claw.
Alright, well, time for the top 10. I will let Ricky begin on this.
My number 10 is, everyone's already mentioned it, probably my favorite song from Prequel, Rats. The catchiest song in the album. Plus, I like the music video. I gotta admit, the music video, I like it, even with the dancing and all that. It gave us the introduction of Papa... No, not Papa Neo. I was going to say Cornucopia gave us the introduction, Cornucopia. I actually thought that Rats was a really good song when it came out. I was having high hopes for the album. It gave me a bit of hope, to be honest, about the album. Still probably my favorite from Prequel, and Hannah's probably still going to kill me after this. That song. Which I know she won't kill me, but she'll probably do something to pawn my dreams or something. But yeah, number 10, Rats.
My number 10, I believe Hannah brought this up. Stand By Him. Very good, like, old school metal tune right there from Opus Eponymous. And I remember I listened to it. A lot of these songs I kind of did a last minute listen to, like, a night or two ago. So I'm just gotten into some of these songs. But, like, Stand By Him stood out for me as maybe, for me, second best song off of Opus Eponymous. There's just one that's little bit better for me, and I feel like some people might know what that one could be, but that's later in the list. But Stand By Him for me at number 10. Hannah.
Well, I've got two songs on my number 10. The first one is the only song out of Prequel I have on my list, and that's Faith.
That's my number 9.
9.
9!
But I think
Hey, Anna, Faith is my number.
Oh! Don't!
Well, when I listened to Prequel for the first time, I think I had it on my record player, and this, in my opinion, was the only light of hope, a bit of hope I got from this record. I mean, if you look at all the tracks individually, this one by far, or without a doubt, is the one that could easily fit on Meliora, or it's musically it's the closest to a Meliora, also lyrically, and I mean, for me, it's a very good song, no doubt about that. Lyrics are good, music is good, nothing to hate about it, and in my opinion, the strongest song out of this album. Although I rarely listen to it because I mean, at times I simply cannot. I can't listen to Ghost without getting those bad feelings about them, especially this album. But enough of that. The second song on number 10 is Mary on a Cross, released on the 7 Inches of Satanic Panic. I mean, Kiss the Go-Goat.
I was gonna say that. What's the deal with goat? Why not just kiss the goat?
Yeah, I mean, I was shaking my head, rolling my eyes so many times when I listened to that one, but
Kiss the goat. You want to kiss LeBron James? You want to kiss Mike
Dan O'Brien?
Sherman? You want to kiss Tom Brady? Montana?
well, Tobias forced to kiss the goat, or want to kiss the goat. But then I mean, I listened to the B-side, Mary on a Cross, and just these kind of retro vibes you get from this song, late 60s psychedelic rock vibes. I think Tobias Forge managed to capture this kind of feeling, late 60s vibe really well. I mean, it's a bit like watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It also got this retro vibes about it, and the lyrics are good in my opinion, and I think it's the strongest song Ghost have released in quite a while. And maybe the new album is better, who knows, but
We'll have to find out. Probably 2021, 2022, around there.
Yeah.
probably next year.
Artur.
Okay, my number 10 is Ricky a bit spoiled it in his honorable mention. The first song of Meliora, it's Spirits. I mean, I do love that keyboard intro that we think that we're going to either play Destroy All Aliens or see a Attack from Mars or anything of the sort, but then you just start. I mean, Spirit. I mean, even though Dios in Absentia can be also a great opener as well, but Spirit possibly the best opening track that Ghost possibly has done from those albums, and I enjoy it. I mean, Spirit Ascent tried to reach that spirituality, as Ghost puts it, but which later goes to from a song from the pinnacle to the. It's a long way down. It's a long way down. But my number 10 is Spirits.
And while we're on you, Artur, time for your number 9.
It's the cover that's, as most of you have already mentioned. If you have Ghosts I mean, I do enjoy the spin. I do enjoy the spin that Ghost puts on. It's already a beautiful song. If you have ghosts, you got them. If you have ghosts, you have everything. I mean, it's already a catchy song, but Ghosts using using their own name to put their stamp on that song, it's amazing. It's beautiful. So that's why it's my number 9.
Hannah.
My number 9 is
Oh.
Monstrous Clock.
Mm. I'm guessing this is number 9 too.
And now Levi is banging his head.
The Tobias effect. The Tobias effect.
I think it's the first song I ever heard of them, and I simply love the chorus in this song, especially later when the choir kicks in, and it's just such a climactic moment, especially pun intended. If they finish with finish their concert with this song, just makes sense, and it's very intelligently, very cleverly written song. It took me quite some time to get into this song, but eventually I got into it and I really like it. And just this kind of physical relationship between two human beings obscured by these lyrics and underlined by the music. I think it's a very clever song. And that's one of the few songs I listen to quite frequently from Ghosts. So it stood the test of time and survived the lawsuit for me. Yay!
Well, my number 9, Hannah spoiled, Faith. This is the one song from Prequel that I would put on the top 10 because of the fact that it's the closest to Old Ghost you could get on Prequel. And it's a heavy tune, and I love how I had a metaphor in my head and then it just slipped out, so I got nothing else to say, I guess. But Faith, the heaviest song off Prequel, and as we've pointed out, the closest to Old Ghost you got from a more pop-oriented hard rock album, which, yeah, what else can I say? Ricky.
My number 9999999 is Majesty. Probably a very underrated song that I don't see Ghost playing that much live. I don't know about recently, but I don't know about recent Ghosts, but back when Meloria's hit, they started playing that song over and over, which that riff, that opening riff of that opening riff, the dun 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 dun, and then you follow by the keyboards. It was perfect, especially I like it how Master. It's very catchy. It's a very catchy song. And after I was gonna put Mummy Dust in my list, but I completely forgot Mummy Dust. So honorable mentions to Mummy Dust. So number 9, Majesty.
And while we're on you, time for your number 8.
My number 8.
Oh god, that was a leftover.
My number 8 burp is Stand By Him. The first song from Opus Eponymous I ever listened to, probably my third or second favorite song from Opus Eponymous. The first song is, according to Tobias, the first song that he ever wrote. I think he said wrote or created, I don't know, something around there. But like I said, Stand By Him, I mean, you can talk about Satan standing by him. You know, a lot of people can portray that as many different ways. Satan, God, whatever you worship, but mostly Satan is what it's talking about. Still very good song that I wish they would play that live again. I don't know, I think they stopped for a bit. So Tobias, if you listen to this, please bring back Stand By Him to the live setting. Please.
All right, Artur, your
Number 8.
I'll try to make it justice. Are you on the square M? Are you on the level? Are you ready to swear?
Right here, right now.
before the devil.
Right now. Right here, right now. Square hammer. I mean, and I have tried because I do have a bit the same vocal range as Tobias, so I can do this song quite easily, and Cerisi as well. Spoiler. But I mean, Square Hammer is probably one of their catchiest songs of all time. I mean, that riff,
So catchy that it was the theme song for an NXT takeover in 2017.
Exactly. Exactly. But they could get Poppy to sing, Code Orange to sing, but they can get Ghost to sing it live. So, fuck them. Nah, just kidding. But I mean, Square Hammer, it's catchy, it's melodic. I mean, even the chorus, you can't get it out of your head, and you even can try to sing it like this was Meliodas, so it was Pope Emeritus III. So, not the only Meliodas song here on the list, but number 8, it's Square Hammer.
My number 8 has been spoiled already, and that's He Is. One of their more proggy kind of songs, because it's very, like, 70s prog oriented, I feel like.
That's my number 7. He is my number 7.
And also, it's a little bit folky, too, and, like, whenever I read the description of the song, I thought to myself, this might be something up my alley, and wow, it is such a beautiful, well-written track. Even though, yeah, it's kind of a ballad, even though it's a prog rock song with the acoustics and such. But I like me some prog acoustic stuff in my metal or hard rock music, because, I mean, Opeth, one of my favorites, does that all the time, and this song kind of reminds me of, like, recent Opeth a little bit.
And if I can add something to it, He Is on a live setting gives you, I can assure you, and I think Hannah can also attest to it, He Is on a live setting gives you chill.
Alright, Hannah, your...
Number 8.
I kill Artur every time with that, I swear.
Well, I've got a tie again. 2 songs out of Opus Eponymous. The first one is Conclavi con Dio.
Honorable mention! Honorable mention!
I mean, this one, directly after Deus Culpa, is the album opener of Opus Eponymous, and in my opinion, it simply rocks, especially live. I mean, this song, in my opinion, is perfect to kick off Opus Eponymous. It's just so energetic, and I mean, it's similar to Per Aspera et Inferi from Infestissumam. Both great openers, but I think Conclavi con Dio is the better one. And then the second song is Prime Mover, also out of Opus Eponymous. And the lyrics of this song, they are sinister. It's about the woman carrying and giving birth to the Antichrist. In my opinion, one of the most sinister lyrics ghosts have ever done. And I mean, this song, it's got this kind of horror movie feel to it, but like The Exorcist and Rosemary's Baby. I mean, that's the kind of feeling I get from this song, and I think this is one of the songs where Papa's voice reach new heights, so to speak. Very shrill voices at times, but it's so fitting. The whole atmosphere of this song and live. They used to play it live a lot. Was kicking ass, and in my opinion, 2 of the strongest songs out of Opus Eponymous.
While we're on to you after we just got done doing.
Number 8.
Just one excuse to play that one last time. Now, Hannah, your turn to start number 7.
Again a tie, but the last one. This time I'm focusing on Meliora, and I mean there are so many great songs on Meliora, so I couldn't kick either of them off my list. The first one is From the Pinnacle to the Pit.
Son of a bitch, that's my number 7 too.
Ah!
Yeah. I mean, From the Pinnacle to the Pit, it just, I mean, it kicks off with this great bass riff, for whatever you might call it.
From the Pinnacle to the Pit is my number 3.
Oh!
I mean,
I know that some of you will name the my number 1. So if I do that, I'm pulling a Ric Flair.
I mean, whenever they play this at a concert, it's one of the most energetic moments of the concert for sure. This song just rocks, and the lyrics are great. Talking about the rise and fall of a character, maybe Satan, maybe a believer, who knows. I simply love this song. And then the second one, probably the heaviest song Ghost have ever written, The Mummy Dust. I mean, if you take or if you look at Meliora and think about this album as a whole, this is probably the least fitting song of this album, but I think it needs this heavy moment, nevertheless. And it's a damn catchy song. So I think it was a great decision to incorporate this song on the album. And I mean, live when they start shooting the mummy dust above the crowd with those little papa dollar notes. I mean, it's so theatrical. And I enjoyed every time they did this.
You mean these dollars?
Exactly these ones. Sadly, I never got one. I mean, I've been to quite a few Ghost concerts, but I've never managed to get one.
Shame! Shame!
You mean these dollars?
Yeah.
Printed in the United States of America.
Yeah. Yeah, funny thing is, I have picks from all guitarists of Ghost, but I never managed to get Mummy Dust. I got no idea why. Well, I love this song. It's awesome live. It's awesome on Meliora, and I mean, if you listen to Ghost, you have to listen to this one. Great song out of Meliora, and I'm sure it will appear again on your list.
Well,
Artur?
since Hannah's... Artur?
You already spoiled my number 7. He is. I mean, it is a ballad, but it's so haunting. It's so. I mean, after hearing all those songs, such as From the Pinnacle, Cerisi, some of the more heaviest songs, you need that down moment. And with Ghost, you have He Is. I mean, it's beautiful. It's catchy, which is a theme for all of them, but He Is, it could be contrived as prog, but I would say more power ballads. I mean, it is a ballad. It does have some proggy elements, but still, those solos in the guitar by Alpha and Omega, they're just beautiful. And especially, as I said, on a live setting, if you haven't seen it, on a live setting, He Is will give you chills, for sure.
Yep.
Ricky.
Well, Hannah's Ball, my number 7, From the Pinnacle to the Pit. I like it because from the music video they take scenes from the movie Metropolis, which is I think it was the late 30s, early 40s movie, sci-fi movie about this character tired of life and wanting to become a god, but they pop up Ghost Papa fired, Ghost fired, whatever you want to say, of the character being Papa, and just turns into a ghost, basically Papa Emeritus, and wants to give the light to everybody because in the music video, the light just for certain people, but he just wants to spare it to the world. Plus the opening riff, the bass. I mean, come on. I'm not a bass player, but I can admire that
It's
bass.
mighty.
Yeah.
A challenge for Levi, might I say? Not to say play Cosmic Sea, but try the bass line from the pinnacle to the.
Hmm. Probably the most, one of my bass riffs of the whole album, and probably one of the few times makes me want to learn the bass because of that song.
Well, there you go. My number 7 is another heavyweight from Meliora, Absolution.
Honorable mention. Honorable
Honorable
mention.
mention.
I just love the dexterity of the guitars on this song. It's so thick, so pounding, and it's just a heavy track. Maybe, aside from Mummy Dust, another classic heavy song off of Meliora that I really, really like. I mean, I could have done the whole Meliora album on this list and it could have been perfect, but this was, for me, the second best song off of that album. The best one coming soon, believe me. Now on to the number of the beast, the number 6. My number 6, Square Hammer. That was the second big Ghost song I got into after Secular Haze when I heard about this song. At first from the NXT TakeOver stuff. I can't remember which TakeOver it was, but I know it was 2017. I want to say Chicago? Might have been, but the song I first heard from
I think
there...
it was Philadelphia. It was the Philadelphia.
But when I first heard it, I was like, damn, this is the same band that did Secular Haze all them years prior. And it was a catchy, fun song, and I really like it. Although I haven't listened to it in a little while, but that's me, number 6. Hannah.
My number 6 is the
So sorry to interrupt. San Antonio, NXT Takeover, San Antonio.
Interesting.
All right, Hannah.
My number 6 is the longest Ghost song, or the longest song Ghost have ever written. It's Goulet Zombie Queen.
Honorable mention. Honorable mention. Forgot about Goulet.
I mean, in my opinion, it's the most progressive song they have ever written. I mean, it combines two totally different musical styles. It starts off kind of insuspiciously and then suddenly gets heavier. And I mean, Papa's vocals on the song shine, as do the double guitars by Alpha and Omega. I think it's just so catchy as hell, especially when he starts singing Zombie Queen and
Lad guide you, Goulet, Goulet.
I simply love this song, and they continue to play it live. I love the acoustic version they did on Sirius XM, where Papa played the kazoo.
I remember that.
If you haven't seen that clip, go check it out. It's simply divine, especially if you look at the ghouls, how annoying they look when he starts playing the kazoo. It's so fucking funny. And every time they have done it live, I mean, they start off with acoustic guitars and suddenly it gets heavy as fuck, and progresses and progresses and progresses and so on. It's just, I mean, I love this song. It's one of my favorite 2 songs out of Infestissumam, and It's great. It's great. Listen to it. Have fun checking out the kazoo version. You won't be disappointed.
I'll have to remind myself of that later. Alright, Artur.
You're number 6.
Kind of was spoiled already. The mummy dusts.
In God we trust.
Arguably, it's one of their heaviest songs. I mean, it's one of their heaviest songs, and the way that Papa, which this one was in Meliora, was almost growling. The best. I mean, it's you never thought that's a clean vocalist like Papa with the typical songs that he has would go a bit that low, nearly guttural style of vocalist. But one thing that takes the cake out of Mummy Dust is without doubt the keyboards. I mean, I haven't heard keyboards great as this. I mean, I'm not saying since the last time I heard Nightwish or anything of the sort, but I almost can compare in terms of dueling guitars and keyboards. I could compare Ghost to Deep Purple in terms of dueling guitars and keyboards.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mummy Dust is my number 6.
Ricky.
My number 6 is Secular Haze. At first, when I first listened to the song, I thought it was a love song. As I got more into the song, I was like, nope, it's not really a love song. It's a... almost got you. Love you too, buddy. It's a weird, one of those weird ghost songs that actually makes me want to dance for some weird reason, which is fitting. Basically, they have a song called Dance Macabre. This song makes me want to dance just a bit, like imagining in a black suit with somebody wearing black and dancing like in the old times. Yeah.
I almost forgot to mention this about Dance Macabre. There's another song called Dance Macabre by Decapitated that's better, and it's just an instrumental haunting thing. I don't know why I just wanted to hold the mic close just to disturb you.
But Papa's vocals in this song are very haunting at first, especially at the very the haunts eternal. Kind of gives me a bit of chills. I'm just imagining that
I felt
song
the same
live.
way.
Yep, that's it. That's my number 6.
Now it is top 5 time. Ricky, your number 5.
My number 5 is a song about a certain person that everybody has written about, done books about, done documentaries about. My number 5 is good old Elizabeth. Now, if you don't know who Elizabeth Bathory is, what are you doing here? if you know who Elizabeth Bathory is, go check her out. Of all the fucked up she's ever done. But beside the point, this song's probably my favorite song from Opus Eponymous because it describes the life of Elizabeth Bathory and all that she's ever done. I mean, talk about one of the most notorious, I don't want to say serial killer, but mass murderers in all of history. To make this song more of a haunting yet beautiful song with the synthesizers. What more can you want from that? It's Ghost. Typical Ghost song.
My number 5 has been spoiled so much that I nearly wanted to chop my dick off, and that's Monstrance Clock. I mean, I don't know what else I could add to it. It's like the vocals are just so soothing throughout this whole song. It's like, and this ain't necessarily a bad thing, but this could be one of those songs that you could like relax and perhaps fall asleep to in a good way because it's like such a soothing song. And I don't know what else I could say other than the fact that you guys kill me all the time with this shit. Well, it serves me right for Behemoth, but still.
Together as one.
Hannah, you're number 5.
My number 5 is a song again out of Meliora. It's the album Closer, Deus in Absentia.
Oh no. Oh no.
And now it's me who committed mass murder and suicide.
You have anything to say for yourself, Ricky?
I'm sorry, Ricky.
Ah!
1.
I mean, you spoiled my number 1 as well.
Oh, I was so close. I was like, they're not gonna mention this song because it's a very underrated song. But I was like, oh no. Why?
And now I'm here.
Why are you doing this to me? No, and then again, I did spoil your number 1.
Yes, you
I guess now we're even now.
did.
Now
Like
I'm
you said,
Now I'm sending the Texas Rangers to Germany.
do it.
Let me guess. Texas Rangers versus a Panzer division? Good luck.
Oh God.
Continue, Hannah, while Ricky suffers in sorrow.
I think this, like Ricky said, this is a very underrated song. A lot of times overlooked because it's the album Closer and there are so many great songs on Meliora. But I think it shouldn't be overlooked because it's simply the perfect album Closer. I mean, after talking about the existence of God throughout the entirety of Meliora, this album finishes talking, or this song finishes talking about the absence of God. And I mean, as far as I understood it, it was supposed to be this kind of connection between between Meliora and the album that would follow. Obviously, Prequel didn't quite connect to Meliora in the way that a lot of Ghost fans expected it to be, but nevertheless, I think Deus in Absentia is a great song. It's just so moody. The atmosphere in this song is so thick, and I mean the way the songs talk about literally the absence of God, and that everything is, the world is on fire, and so on. I think it's a great song, and especially how it ends with these choirs. I mean, I get chills every time they do it. And for a long time, they didn't perform it live. They only did so at the last show of the Meliora cycle in Gröna Lund in Sweden, with a full choir. And I mean, I watched videos of that concert. And what they did on stage with this choir and everything is just so atmospheric. And then Papa dies at the end of it, and I think he gets replaced by Cardinal Copia or something like that, or Get the Spirit. I've forgotten, it's too long since I watched it. I mean, it's theatrical, it's awesome, and shouldn't be overlooked. And sorry, Ricky, if I committed this kind of crime.
Oh God.
Artur.
Number 5 then, which has already been spoiled. Sia con vaso, sia con Dio, con clavi con Dio. I mean, I love that song, especially that chorus. That even as I said, I've tried to sing Ghost several times over, and I can say that I have a bit the same vocal tone as Papa, but I mean the bass line to start. Then, when he starts, Lucifer, we are here. I mean, It's amazing, and especially when it comes afterwards to that chorus. Sia con vaso, sia con Dios. I mean, almost you hear like a pseudo rock opera song in that whole concept. But still, it is one of my favorite songs of them, from Opus Eponymous as well, and even still to this day, when I hear it live, I go, yeah, because as I said, I love it. So, Con Clave Con Dio, number 5.
And while we're on to you, Artur, let's get your number 4. Up.
Oh, you're muted.
Mike is muted.
You're muted.
Okay, now I have to clean up my pipes. I feel your presence amongst us.
That's my number 4 as well.
Can you hear the rumble? Can you hear the rumble is calling? Cerisi.
I'm guessing that's his number 1.
Huh?
Is it?
I mean, Cerisi.
Levi?
Huh?
He's dead.
I think that's his number 1.
Oh, damn!
Wait,
Oh,
Hey.
damn!
go on.
Hannah, Europe wins again! Europe wins again! But I mean, Cerisi. It's beautiful. I mean, especially the voice of Papa. That feels like he's singing a serenade, maybe to this girl, Cerisi. And please, tell me when you see the video you don't get Addams Family vibes. Everyone feeling disgusted with the kids playing Ghost, and then only 2 parents, unlike the Addams Family that were 5, playing and loving.
I just love that. I see myself in that place in the future. I'll be like, that's my boy!
Or I would have him do that, and also do Macho Man Randy Savage, but being fully dressed on his graduation. I would buy him a car. I would buy him a car instantly. But I mean, seriously, even every time when you it, probably one of the most popular songs, but come on, don't you? It's almost like you cannot sing "Smoke on the Water," but when you hear someone, can you hear the rumble? You almost want to follow up as well. My number 4, Cerisi.
We just killed Levi again. Well, Hannah.
I think I just continue. I mean,
Yeah.
Series is also
I mean, how many times have you killed me in these past podcasts? So
quite often.
we're even.
Well, Series is also my number 4. It's like Artur said, it's just beautiful the way he sings all the lyrics to the girl. And I mean, it's quite touching the way he does it, and also the guitar solo, in my opinion, is awesome. And I mean, how influential the song actually got. I mean, they played it on Colbert, on the Halloween episode, and that was awesome. I mean, to see them.
Fuck Colbert.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that you got a cult Swedish hard rock band playing on a major American talk show or late night talk show in itself is incredible, and they even won the Grammy with that song. I mean, I don't know if you have watched the Grammy video, but everyone just looks baffled when they enter the stage fully in costume, and I have to laugh every time.
I do give credit. I give Tobias credit for that, for keeping in character when he received the award. I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah, but I mean, all ghouls and
Yeah,
Tobias,
all of them. Yeah, all of them.
that's one of the reasons I used to love Ghost so much. I mean, it was just simply this whole package: awesome music, great concept, both lyrically, musically, and
The mystique.
theatrically on stage, and then this whole stake surrounding the band with this Pope gimmick and those ghouls following him, and the anonymity. And awesome live shows. I mean, for me, Ghost used to be a whole package at that point, and that's why I worship them quite literally. And I mean, this song gives me chills every time I listen to it. I think it's one of the greatest they've ever written, and I sadly I have the feeling that they will never ever come close to the greatness they've done on. Or they have created on Meliora. And this is certainly one of the best moments out of this album.
Oh boy, here it comes. Here it comes. In
These
3,
are my
2,
two-
1. Well, I was supposed to say my number 4 since Levi's still dead. My number 4's been spoiled so many times. He is. You guys know I love ballads. I couldn't for the life of me not put this on the list. Talking about Satan, God. Again, another one of those songs you can interpret in many ways. Standing by the abyss, and the world is in flames. Nuestro dispatre, nuestra mate. Which I was like, what's that? When I checked, it was translated to Our Father, Our Mother. Plus the music video, I'm like, damn, the balls to do that music video, especially the ending scene, which I'm like, hello. But still, great song, great ballad, and I like the live version they did in the Swedish Swedish Awards. I think it was the Swedish Awards that they had Papa was singing in the back.
Grammys.
The Grammys, the Swedish Grammys, and you had like in the background of video Papa with like a puppeteer and you have some dancers doing some choreography. The visuals of that song are pretty great. I'm like, I need to see Ghost live. Come on, Ghost, come to Texas, please, please. Hopefully after this whole thing ends. All right. And Levi was still dead.
Levi,
Now to get
wake
rid
up.
of those pesky memories. Oh! I just had a weird nightmare. I just had a nightmare that my number 1 was spoiled.
Nope.
Please
It
tell
was
me.
real.
Wait, what?
It was real. It was real. You blacked out, but it was real.
Oh god, I feel like I just broke my jaw a little bit. Not really. I just got myself right barely in the chin. Oh,
Oh my god.
how do I recover from this? How?
I don't know. I guess it's a payback you did for the Satanist. Anyways,
Well, to continue. My number 4. I feel like maybe this might kill Artur or Hannah.
I think I know which one it is.
Maybe?
It's the only song we haven't mentioned.
Year 0.
Yeah!
I got my revenge!
Yes!
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 He just fell!
Yes!
He just fell on the ground! I've never seen that happen!
Wait. Hail Satan, Arcangelo. Hail Satan.
Where's Hannah? What the hell happened?
Welcome, year 0. Hail Satan.
We're even, Levi. And I said I'll pull a Ric Flair, and I did pull a Ric Flair.
Okay.
Where's Hannah?
Yeah, where's Hannah? She's missing. Oh, she missed the funniest thing. Ah. Oh, I can't breathe. Oh.
Well, that's my number 3.
Okay, this has happened twice now. I have a ghost at 4, and you have a ghost at 3. Happened with prequel, now with the song.
True.
Anyways, but yeah, Year Zero, like, the way it starts off with this, like, ritualistic chanting of, like, all the satanic names and such. And, wow, it is catchy, it is heavy, and it is fun.
I'm not doing a second time.
You missed
Do it!
Do it! You missed the best part!
Yeah, my phone shut down.
Not drunk enough to pull a second time.
Well, just say what your number 3 is. Well, your number 4.
Or number 4. Mine, so, Hannah, what you missed was Artur pulling a Ric Flair. I had my number 4.
No, not that. The way he drops down.
Yeah.
Because his number 4, well, Levi's number 4 is Archer's number 1.
Year Zero.
You missed the best part.
Yeah, he literally fell face first onto the floor. He literally just went...
Well, that's another ghost moment.
Fortunately, I had the bet. Fortunately, I had the bet.
Yeah. That's another
That's
ghost
good.
moment.
Yep. But yeah, that's my number 4.
I don't think Year Zero is on Hannah's list. I mean, she's without reaction.
It is on my list.
Alright, we'll start with, I'll start number 3 off. So my number 3, my favorite song off of Opus Eponymous, and I'm surprised it's not been brought up yet. Ritual.
My number 3.
Honorable mention.
How could you forget this one?
I gotta set a Levi on honorable. I gotta set a limit on honorable mentions. You already have almost 20.
I don't know. I can forget Ritual. I mean, after
Arguably their first hit,
I mean,
so to
their first.
speak.
Yeah, you can say that.
To some extent, but as soon as you hear that chorus, the chapel of ritual smells of dead human sacrifices from the altar bed. That's such an amazing chorus, like, holy crap. And it's heavy, it is old school sounding, like most things Ghost do. And yeah, this was the one from Opus Eponymous that really stuck out to me the most because, yeah, this was, like I said, arguably their first hit song, even though they were still very underground at the time. But still, Ritual, man. Anything you want to add in on top of that, Hannah, since that's your number 3?
I mean, for me, this is the best song out of Opus Eponymous, without doubt. And if you would ask me what the quintessential Ghost song is, I would tell you immediately it is Ritual. I mean, it's classic retro heavy metal or hard rock, and with satanic lyrics, and the way this song talks about, I mean, a satanic ritual, of course. For me, the lyrics are just great, and I mean, sum up what Ghost is all about. Live, it's always a killer whenever they play it. I mean, I've got my name from the song. So many on Instagram and shit like that. It's just so iconic, and I mean, when I first saw live videos of this Papa One performing this song in the smoke on very dimly lit stages with not very many people in front of him, and the ghouls all clad in black cloaks, their faces obscured and everything. During the time before they had the Gibson RDs, the iconic guitars they used so long. I mean, this is classic Ghost. This is essential Ghost in my opinion, and it's a fucking great song.
Ricky.
Well, you spoiled it with your number 4. El Satan Arcangelo. El Satan, welcome you, zero. My favorite song from Insuferium. Probably one of their best songs ever written, one of the best songs ever created, one of the best songs live, even though I haven't seen them live. The atmosphere that they bring to the song. I mean, a song about Satan. Even though we have so many songs, ghost songs talking about Satan, this one's the one that everyone agrees, like definitive. Like, you want Satanism and ghosts? Year 0.
Here you go, motherfuckers. Artur.
Wasn't the same thing with Venom that they said. I think it was Abaddon that said on one of Sam Dunn's interviews there was a bishop somewhere that the government gave him a whole lot of equipment to hear if there were any satanic lyrics to Venom.
Yeah.
To the point that he said, "Hey, you have a song, you have a cover which has the goat's head, Baphomet, on a pentagram, and he has a song called In League with Satan. It's the same forwards as it is backwards, so
Yeah.
it's obvious."
But Artur, you're number
Number 3. Your mic's muted. Your mic's muted.
Again.
Me. Ow.
So many of you have already spoiled my number 3, my numero tres, as it is said. From the pinnacle to the pit, it is a
It's a
long way down. I mean, the bass intro, it kicks you in. Afterwards, it's the guitar, and then the Pope starts to sing, and I didn't know where the video came from, so thanks for the information about that Metropolis video, or movie, so to say. But, I mean, even the middle section, which later became the last section, when he goes, "You have cast out from the hills to the ground." I mean,
Like in feathers falling down.
exactly. It is no wonder why this song has become one of the more popular as well, coming out of Meliora, but maybe second or third only to Mummy Dust and Cerisi, of course. But still, even the story of getting to the top and then losing everything, it's the story of life. And the story of so many celebrities that we know of, especially. They have everything, and then they go to the pits. Many of them not leaving the pits, unfortunately. But it is, in fact, beautiful. And from the pinnacle to the pits, my number...
Alright, my number... Well, why am I tongue-twisting myself so bad? While we're on you, Artur, let's get your number 2.
Numero 2.
Zwei.
It is controversial, to say the least, what my number 2 is, but it's Faith. I'm not ashamed to say that Faith is my number 2, because despite the fact that the song still has that catchiness to it, it is very doomy to say the least, especially with that guitar tone that they have. Okay, not as doomy as Mommy Dust or many others, but still, I love it. I cannot stop listening into to Faith. Now, if Papa can ditch out that Cardinal Coppola mask and bring back the Papa gimmick,
Which he has.
perfect.
Which he has.
For me. I know that he has, but when he did the prequel, but still a very strong song, and especially with all the pronouncing himself a god, because as he said, I am your eyes, I am your ears, I am your wall, and I'm watching you fall. I mean, it's either talking about Humpty Dumpty or talking about himself being a god. What? Humpty Dumpty fell off a wall? Isn't the same thing?
Just hearing the phrase Humpty Dumpties nowadays is just so weird.
Sorry, would you like me to say the end?
Nah, it's better.
But Faith is my number 2.
My number 2 has been spoiled. Secular Haze, my favorite song off of Infestissimum. It was the first song I got into the band from, and this was the perennial example of what I meant by how they had so much Blue Oyster Cult influence in the vocals. This was probably the best example of that for me. Not to mention the music video where they're all in like a smoky room playing, and how it just has that like primitive sound to it. It was like, am I seeing something from 1975? And, well, there you have it. So, Secular Haze, my number 2. Hannah.
My number 2 is also out of Infestissimum, but it's Year Zero.
Now you gotta do it again.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Because Hannah missed it.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
Nature boy! Alright, continue.
He does that. He does that.
Yeah. Or better yet, hang on. I'll do ya.
Oh God. Oh God. Anyways,
We are not here for a chop battle. We're here for a ghost battle.
anyway, continue.
Well, lyrically, this is one of the most diverse posts I've ever released about Satan. The chorus is classic. What follows after the chorus as well, with all these different names of saints, Satans, sinners, whatever.
It'll Beelzebub, Asmodeus, Satanas,
Satanas,
Lucifer.
Lucifer.
Yep.
And I mean, when you hear it live and everybody is chanting along to it, Hail Satan, Archangelo, Hail Satan, Welcome Year Zero, and so on.
Which a lot of people don't know. Archangel is not actual name for the devil. That's an actual angel. So they're like,
Yeah,
Archangel Saint Gabriel, Archangel Saint Michael, as well. And rumor has it that Lucifer was in fact an archangel.
yeah,
From what I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a fallen angel, but the reason why he did not go against God, he had a different opinion because he wanted to be like Prometheus, to pass on the intelligence, intelligence to men. No, he said that mankind was flawed, that was not made out of his image, and so because he disagreed with God.
Well, and what I've always liked about this song is the guitar solo, which during a live setting was usually performed by Omega. One of the few guitar solos he performed live, and the way he moved on stage and was so into the music was one of the things that really got me about Ghost, and it was his stage presence. Especially during that solo in combination with his ever-present stomping. I mean, you could hear it throughout the entire concert hall when he was doing that. It was simply insane. And I mean, he co-wrote this song like many of their hits, like Series, Deus in Absentia, and Monsters Clock. I mean, a lot of the success of these songs can be contributed to Martin Persner, and it's simply awesome. And then you have this this awesome music video. I mean, have you ever seen the uncensored version? When I see that, and rumor has it that it was the former bassist Linton who did the thing, and I mean I've met Linton, but I didn't ask. Sadly, didn't ask him if that was him.
Boy.
I mean he's such a cool dude, but I didn't want to ask that question.
Ricky.
My number 2 was the first song that got me into Ghost series. At first hand, when I first look at the album cover of series of kind of like Silence of the Lambs, it didn't trick me. I was like, okay, this is from Silence of the Lambs artwork. This has to be dark and heavy. Oh, it definitely was dark and heavy, but yet beautiful. I mean, you got the haunting lyrics, ghosts. I mean, Papa doing his typical. Yeah, if I can speak, typical thing of the going to the star inside. Kind of mesmerizes you to get into the song, and then I saw the music video, and like I said, I'll be one of those parents be like, "That's my boy! That's my boy!" I'll be like, "Yeah, again, encore, encore." I mean, and this is the song that a lot of Ghost fans were introduced to Ghost, if I have to be honest. Probably their most famous song ever written, their best song that they've created. Not my personal, for a long time, it was my personal favorite. But then things changed, but still, it's a good place to put at number 2.
And now it's moment of truth time. The number 1s. Ricky.
I was so close. So close that this song was gonna get spoiled. I had a feeling it was gonna be Hannah who's gonna mention it because she knows more about Ghost. So I had that kind of feeling, but I was like, if they don't mention it, I'll be safe. But she did. My number 1, the most underrated song from Meliora. The title,
No,
Closer.
that's my number 1.
Sure. But anyway, my number 1, the album Closer, Dios in Absentia. For the first 2 years of college, I had writing class. And we started to read a more mythical, kind of horror-based stories. And this was a song I listened to constantly throughout while doing my papers. So far, that in one of my papers, I actually put as a title, Dios in Absentia. Which I was like, what does it mean? And it says God is absent. And like, I think it was Artur who said it after the whole album having God. I think Hannah Archer said it after the whole album having God present. Then you have the final track that says God is not there. Plus the way the song starts with the metronome, the ta, 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 was kind of weird. Never heard a song open like that. And then, a post-apocalyptic world, destruction, chaos, fire,
Hey,
the whole
Ricky,
nine yards. It was, and I'm actually kind of sad that this was not released as a music video. Can you imagine if this was a music video or a single? The amount of popularity the song will get will surpass series. Plus, Omega's guitar solo in this song are definitely divine. They're so divine that I'm gonna say this right now. This song will be a perfect soundtrack for the Joker. At the very end, you see him dancing. That song will be like, kind of like glorifying his victory. It will fit perfectly. But yeah,
Hey,
my
Ricky,
number. What?
you know what the intro reminds me of?
What?
Of Dios in Absentia. Time by Pink Floyd, to a certain degree. I always get that feeling that it reminds me so much of Time.
Now that you mention it, it kind of does. I mean, that.
Yeah,
It kind of does. But yeah, now you're branching out. I'm gonna have stuck that in my head. But still, my number one, The Obstinate Absentia, my favorite ghost song of all time.
Well, my number one that was spoiled earlier, and you guys killed me, is Series from Meliora. I mean, what else can I say that hasn't been said before? Arguably their best, well-crafted song, heavy, melodic, dark, atmospheric. The music video's really interesting. And this is actually a song I like singing along to sometimes whenever I'm in that mood to listen to it. That's really all I got for you. Artur, give us your thoughts on Year Zero.
One of the reasons why I've put this number one. First off, it was the first song that I've ever listened. It wasn't Concave Condio, it wasn't Elizabeth, not Ritual. It was, in fact, Year Zero. As I said, it was a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, who recommended me to hear this. And he started out with all the Bilium, Behemoth, Beelzebub, Asmodeus, Satanas, Lucifer. But then the guitars kick in. I mean, it's great. It's an awesome song. Despite the fact that still says the same thing, it can be repeatedly, but as we said, it's cheesy and it's catchy, but it's the good or the great cheesiness and catchiness that makes Ghost what they are. And I mean, I was last year seeing Ghost live. There was around almost 10,000 people watching the Ghost show. And when it started, they started all Bilium, and everyone was going. I'd say everyone was mental because of that song, which is how they got, which is to the top, to one of the tops of the music industry over these past 10 years, so to say. And that's why Year Zero is my number one.
Alright, Hannah, the floor is yours.
Well, my number one was spoiled by Ricky. Well, personally, I think that this is the unknown song out of Ghost whole entire discography. It was only a B-side on Meliora, only released as a vinyl bonus track on a very limited vinyl pressing. It's Zenith. And the reason why it is on here, I mean, after this whole lawsuit debacle and so on, I really liked this song before, but afterwards, I mean, the lyrics are so ironic. I mean, it starts out with the lines, "We conquered the magic, we counted the stars." So obviously something great was achieved, and then I mean, it kind of continues until you got to the point that you're set free, and it's and what is ironic is about it. I mean, this song was mostly written by Martin Persner. I've talked about Martin. He is my favorite member that ever was in Ghost, and continue to do great things with Magna Carta Cartel. And the music on Zenith and Magna Carta Cartel is so similar to a certain degree. I mean, you hear that Martin was the main guy behind this song, and it's just this kind of moods and melancholic feeling you get from this song is so similar to MCC. And then, I mean, he was kind of set free in the summer of 2016 when he suddenly was allegedly fired from Ghost. Nobody really knows what happened, and that's why this song is always so dear to my heart, because it's kind of one of the last musical moments of Martin and Ghost, and I simply love the lyrics in here. this kind of rise to the top, and then it's all over, and you have kind of reached your zenith, at least with Ghost. But then again, he rose again with MCC at a later point. I mean, I get chilled every time I listen to this song. I love this song to the moon and back. It's just so dear to my heart. I mean, I invested so much time in Ghost, and then all this shit happened. But this song kind of made up for everything, and that's why it's very, very, very dear to my heart.
And with that said, ladies and gents, that does it for episode 31 of the Horsemen podcast. Thank you guys who are watching the premiere stream. Funny enough, we recorded this on April Fool's Day of all days, even though it's out on April 3rd, but still, it's kind of funny that happens. But regardless, thank you for watching.
Actually, my number one is Reds. I was just fooling you the entire time.
Anywho, so next episode, whenever we're free to record that, will be top 10 albums of the 2000s.
That
Oh
would be a
my
difficult
God.
one.
That's gonna be tough.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We got episodes up to episode 40 planned for the most part. Things might switch around, or new stuff might come along, like perhaps we'll do an episode on top 10 metal EPs at some point. Which,
Or top
that's
10
gonna be
played
good.
songs.
Of course. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Horns high, and we'll see you next time.
What the heck is fellatio?
Cole, out of all the
Farting a
people in
dick.
here, you should know what that is.
Every time I'm soft,
Yeah.
to try to gab a shark.
Is it a new way to torture
Getting a
people?
little too friendly.
No,
Well,
it's
depends on how you look at it.
Okay, I'm looking it up.
Every time
Oh,
I'm
boy.
crossed.
Are you looking at the whole thing or just the
Every time I'm
fellatio part?
crossed.
Oh wait, so fellatio is stimulation of the penis? Really?
Thanks for letting me know that. I might pick that car now.
Cole. It's another name for a blowjob.
Okay. Every time I.
I thought it was a dick
it's a deep
punishment.
throat blowjob.
All right, here we go. Okay.
Moving on.
Sounds like Carson's getting one right now.
God damn.